Hello everyone, this is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts, special episode number 116. And so we're going to be talking about a pretty interesting tyrannosaur that we're actually going to be talking about here. And that tyrannosaur is Alectrosaurus. And so here we have this size chart of Alectrosaurus olseni. And so you kind of see how large it is. Now, some facts about Alectrosaurus. Its name means alone reptile. Sometimes you'll see it is also known as unmarried reptile, but either or is actually okay. Length is 16 feet or 5 meters long. Height is 5 feet, so 1.5 to 2 meters. Weight is 1 ton, so 2,200 pounds. That's not officially 1 ton, but it's actually just over 1 ton, just a tad bit over 1 ton. Lived 83 to 74 million years ago in the late Cretaceous period, found in Mongolia. And of course, of all tyrannosaurs, it is a carnivore. And so you can actually see in the upper left corner where you can see where Mongolia is highlighted. That's where Alectrosaurus is found. And on the bottom right corner, you can see the skeletal drawing of Alectrosaurus. So you can see not many bones have been found, and so you only see is the skull, the shoulder blade, and the legs have been found. They haven't found the entire skeleton, and so we don't know what the arms might have looked like. We don't know what the tail possibly. We don't know how long the tail could be, and let's see what the hips actually look like. But hopefully I think the hips should actually be very similar to most other tyrannosaurs. But so the discovery of Alectrosaurus is actually pretty significant. So George Olsen was the first to find Alectrosaurus in Mongolia, and so he was working for, I believe, a museum in somewhere here in North America. I can't remember where, but I think if I've heard it, he was working for the American Museum of Natural History, but I could be wrong about that. But it wasn't until 1933, is when Charles Gilmore described and published Alectrosaurus. So he was the one that actually got the publication to be put out for Alectrosaurus, and that's why Alectrosaurus is actually kind of known a little bit in paleontology. Some other interesting facts of Alectrosaurus. It belongs to the Tyrannosauridae family, so the Tyrannosaurus. It's a medium-sized Tyrannosaur, so it is not going to be very large. It does have a sister species. If you actually look at the phylogeny table or the family tree of tyrannosaurs, you actually see where Alectrosaurus is, and right below it, or right above it, is actually a dinosaur called Zhongguanlong. And that is its sister species. So the sister species, Zhongguanlong, possibly looked nearly similar to Alectrosaurus, but I'm pretty sure if I've heard Zhongguanlong is actually a tad bit shorter than Alectrosaurus in terms of length. The height could actually be similar, but I think there is some significant differences between the two. And Alectrosaurus is actually more slender than the large Tyrannosaurus, so it's actually more sleeker. It is going to be faster than the large Tyrannosaurus. I don't really have an idea of the speed, but I took a guess is that its speed was probably between 25 to 30 miles per hour, but it could actually be higher than 30 miles per hour, and so it could actually be one of the faster medium-sized tyrannosaurs to actually have been around in the Mesozoic, in the late Cretaceous period. And it's a possibility that Alectrosaurus possibly lived in pairs. Now, if you have ever seen the BBC documentary Planet Dinosaur, you actually see Alectrosaurus in one episode, and it was hunting in pairs. So you probably have a male and a female working together to take down their prey. And so it is not going to be the largest of all the. It's not going to be the largest predator to be found in its environment, but I still don't know which is the larger predator that lived around that particular time, around 83 to 74 million years ago. The environment in which Alectrosaurus actually lived in. Alectrosaurus lived in a hot and dry environment, so edge of deserts and semi-arid areas. So that is actually going to be a little bit more tougher conditions for a carnivore to actually live in. Probably stay near water sources to find prey, and also to have its water source to actually be able to drink water. There'll be some palm trees and some ferns that were actually around at the particular time where Electrosaurus lived, and other animals that actually lived around Electrosaurus: reptiles, mammals, some insects, and of course, dinosaurs. And its prey would actually be these three dinosaurs: Bactrosaurus, Gigantoraptor, and Gilmoriosaurus. And so Gigantoraptor was also featured in the Planet Dinosaur series, is where Electrosaurus was actually trying to hunt down and possibly kill a Gigantoraptor in the desert. But I won't spoil it for everybody. But you can see what happens after a certain type of event actually happened. But basically, Bactrosaurus and Gilmoriosaurus are actually its main sources of prey. It's probably not going to go after Gigantoraptor very much. It might actually possibly tackle down maybe young Gigantoraptor, or probably maybe from hatchling all the way to, say, maybe close to 5 years old. But I don't know what the age scale is for Gigantoraptor, but I don't know if there was even any growth stages done on Gigantoraptor, but someone let me know in the comments section if you actually know what the growth stage is for Gigantoraptor. And of course, extinction for Electrosaurus. So 74 million years ago, something happened that caused certain dinosaurs to go extinct. And so the cause is unknown, but we don't know for sure. And so that is actually still going to be a debate. But more likely, it was probably climate change that was probably the main cause. And so sea levels were kind of still on the rise, but it's also getting close to the point in time where sea levels are going to start to drop in certain areas, especially North America. The Eurasia at that particular point was actually starting to see sea levels starting to drop. And so the sea levels dropping would actually make it more open habitat for certain animals to actually thrive on. And so around 74 million years ago, this is when, like, say, Tarbosaurus and Alioramus is actually starting to appear. So those would be the new types of Tyrannosaurus that were actually possibly taking over from Electrosaurus. And then, of course, the herbivores were bigger and also stronger than Electrosaurus could actually possibly take down. And so climate change is more likely the cause of the extinction of Electrosaurus. All right, that's it for now, and next week would actually be a Q&A episode, August 23rd, 2018. So if you got any questions about dinosaurs or any other prehistoric life, feel free to email me at dinochrist71@gmail.com, or just go on my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts of Dino Chris. Like the page, you guys should post your questions on the wall or in the comments section. But remember, keep your questions short to the point. You can also follow me on Twitter at CSGRALL. That's my Twitter page. I post pretty cool stuff on there. So take care of the people around you, and also for younger people out there, make sure to listen to your parents, your teachers, and your guardians. It's the best motivation you could have for good education. It's very important to have a good education. So with a good education, you get a good job in the future. All right, that's it for now. I'll see you guys next time.